So let's talk about me for a little bit. Who am I and what is it that I'm doing and why am I doing the thing that I'm doing and how I feel about the police department or any law enforcement department, especially the police department. Who am I? If I'm driving on the street and a police officer spot me from a viewable distance where they can calculate my image, see the length of my hair, the color of my skin, my profile, in other words, it would matter to that police officer who I am. If his intention, if he have a certain image, a certain profile in mind that he is looking for, which and most times it's people who look like myself. Profiling is a reality, it does exist. I have a history of being profiled by the law enforcement department, especially in neighborhoods that I lived before that are less urbanized. On my record, my driving record, there was a lot of pullovers, incidents with the police being pulled over, small things, seatbelt tickets, seatbelt tickets, seatbelt tickets, a lot of them. Come to find out later on when I get to learn more about the law, I found out that those are things that we shouldn't have even have been pulled for. So those were not even legal. I had situations with my driver license before. Had a family, I was broke, I had tickets, never paid them, couldn't pay them. My license gets suspended. I continued to drive. I got caught a few times. I got arrested. I got punished for it. It's all fine. But then I have situations where at one point in my life, at one time in my life, I was surrounded by people that are different from me. From the way I look, I was surrounded by Caucasian people. And there was a call made at one time, and I was treated very unfairly by the system, especially the police department. I spent 98 days locked up in jail for a crime that I did not commit. And it seemed like my only my only hope of getting out was pleading out, because I saw that they had no intention to let me out. I was placed a $50,000 bond, on a misdemeanor crime, $50,000 bond in Port St. Lucie. We have the whole thing documented because I write things down. When you're locked up in jail looking for justice and you can't get it, you write things. You write. and coming out of there when they finally let me, when I finally plead out on the crime I didn't commit and get out, the same person who got me in there in the first place looted my house, steal everything, including my transportation, and to get the same police department who arrested me to punish that person for the real crime that they did. It was very, 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 very hard to do. It was a very hard thing to do. And when they finally did, they did so to like this in the slightest way that they could. We know that the system is prejudiced when it comes to minority. This is a fact. This is not something that we hear on television. I can personally attest to that. All the records are there. My life is an open book. I'm very popular on the web. Everybody knows my name. So all my information is out there. It can be researched, and everything I said, it can be validated. Who I am and what has been my experience with the police department. I had another situation where I came in one morning, 2 o'clock, and I was robbed at gunpoint, and I called the police department to come out to help find this person, and that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because the guys came out, and I guess they have to know who you are, who call you. He ran my record, and he saw that I was arrested before. And when he saw that, he faked the whole thing. They've just faked the whole thing. So here I was. I felt like the justice in the system, or the justice that the police department was not set up for me to justify people like me or to help people like myself. Those were my experience, and I'm quite sure there's a lot of people out there like myself who feel that way. That is something that we don't want. How do I feel about the police department? Me, I have no animosity, no ill feeling about anybody. I still love them. If I go to the Dunkin' Donut and I see a cop out there, I still help them. And if he's in danger and he's on the street, and that's something I can do to save his life, I'm gonna do it, because that is the thing about it. That is not what we do. That's not what my purpose. I cannot let somebody else's bad action determine my reaction, because at the end of the day, I have to consider myself, because I know I am a servant of God and a true servant of God, and I have to expect that I'm going to go through tribulation. These are the things I never went through those situations because the system didn't like me, or because the police department have a problem. But I went through the situation because that is the way. That was the destiny that God has for my life. So now I could come back a couple of years after that and realize my true potential and start tapping into who I really am, and to use channel that, what would be that negative energy. Because honestly, I'm telling you, before these days, I had a lot of hatred for the police department. A whole lot. I didn't like them at all. I had to learn how to get over this, get over it, and to put all of that behind me, and to start to focus on myself and make myself a better person. Because I had tapped into that kind of negative energy I wouldn't have done anything. And then when my brother got killed, was when I really decided that the things that I know how to do, the system that I know how to program to help to solve crime like this, I have to do it because now I have to save lives. Now I feel how it feels like when a family lost their life through gun violence or through violence, when somebody has been robbed, how violated and how angry you feel. I get to experience now all of this. So now, what am I doing this for? I'm not doing this for the PD or for any law enforcement. I'm doing it for me, for myself, for my family. I'm doing it for other people out there. Because as I said before in the video ahead of this, I said that the police department or no law enforcement department, they cannot protect citizens, they can only punish. And that is the only thing that the police department or that any department can ever do is to punish. They can never protect the citizen. It's too many of us to protect. And it's never enough for them, and they're never where they need to be because you can't be in two places at one time. They are not omnipotent. So now we found out now that this is not their job. This is not about them. This is not about this is not about your department. This is about us, our department. And now we found out that it is our job to present, to use the situation, the crimes, as a community that we need your department to solve. And this is why we create the system. It is not about me. People are dying, really, really, really dying with their eyes closed, being buried 7 days after, and their family going to the funeral. This is how serious it is. It's been a lot of tears, and it's all because of this madness that we see going on. This kind of demonic force that's let out there that's taking over people's mind, having them doing things, crazy things to other people, having them violating other people in so many ways. We need these people, we need these crimes to be punished. And that's why we create a system that we know is 100% effective in making that happen. Thank you so much.